Ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin kung paano magsulat or paano isulat ang equation ng isang line given ang kanyang graph. So, kung mapapansin nyo, we have here the xy axis o yung xy plane natin. As a recap, ang ating x coordinates will be taken from the x-axis and yung y coordinates natin will be taken from the y-axis. Okay? Then, lahat ng points on the y-axis or the point of intersection of the graph to our y-axis ang tinatawag na y-intercept. Kagaya itong point na ito, at saka ito, no? And the point of intersection ng ating graph to the x-axis ay tinatawag na x-intercept. Kagaya nitong point na ito. Dito, kung i-extend, banda dito, no? And so on. Kung ito man i-extend, edi dito naman yung isang line. Okay? Now, before we start, recap tayo ng pagpapangalan or pagbibigay ng coordinates of a point. No po? So, again, kapag magbibigay ng coordinates, una ka munang titingin sa horizontal bago yung katumbas niya sa vertical. Okay? So, for example, if we want to give this point a coordinate, kung sa horizontal tayo, siya ay nasa origin. So, ang kanyang x-coordinate ay 0. And then, for the y-axis, naroon siya sa posisyon ng ating positive 3. So, kaya, ang kanyang magiging coordinates will be 0, 3. Okay? So, again, 0 sa x-axis, positive 3 sa y-axis. Next, itong point naman ito, naka-partner niya. We have here 0. Ito yung positive 1. 0. Ito yung negative 1. So, kung ito yung point na papangalanan natin or bibigyan ng coordinates, it will be sa x-axis ay negative 2. And sa y-axis, siya ay nasa 0, pababa, negative 1. So, negative 2, negative 1. How about itong nasa black na line natin? Let us give the coordinate of this point. So, kung ang sagot ninyo ay 2, 1, then you're correct. No? Sa x-axis, naroon siya sa posisyon ng positive 2. Sa y-axis, nandun siya katapat ng positive 1. Kaya 2, 1. This point, ano naman ang kanyang coordinate kaya? So, if you answered negative 2, positive 3, then you are correct. Negative 2 sa x, kasi ito yung 0, ito yung positives, ito yung negatives. No, so, negative 2, then positive 3 kasi tumaas. No, so, makakatulong sa inyo na maglalagay kayo ng signs. Lagyan ng signs. Okay? Ayan. So, how about the last line? So, on this point, its coordinate will be, if you answered 1, negative 1, then you're correct. Okay? Positive 1, negative 1. How about this one? If you answered 3, negative 2, then you're correct. Usapan na natin ngayon kung paano magsulat ng equation ng line given ang graph. So, sa graph, meron kang tatlong options. Depende sa kung anong iyong magiging given na line. So, iisa-isahin natin yung mga options na iyon based sa kung ano yung applicable sa line natin ginagawa. So, for our first line, sagutan natin itong pulang ito. Okay? So, since you have identified 2 points pwede mong gamitin dyan ang 2-point form. Again, pag sinabing 2-point form, yan yung y minus y sub 1 equals y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2 times x minus x sub 1. Pero, kung mapapansin nyo, meron tayong specified point na nasa y-axis. At ito naman yung tinatawag nating y-intercept. So, kung meron kang y-intercept, pwedeng i-apply mo rin yung tinatawag na slope-intercept form or yung y equals mx plus b. Or, kung meron kang isang point at kaya mong i-identify ang slope, which is simply the rise over run, kung ikaw ay mayroong graph, pwede mo rin i-apply yung y minus y sub 1 equals the slope m times x minus x sub 1. So, for our first given, sa pulang line na ito, let us use yung pinakamadali. No? Dahil meron naman siyang y-intercept, let us use y equals mx plus b. Let us first identify yung slope. So again, the slope is the rise over run. M equals the rise over run from any point on the graph. No? So kung magsisimula tayo dito, para makapunta dito, tayo ay bababa ng 1, 2, 3, 4. So ibig sabihin, the rise is 4. Okay? Or dahil bumaba ka, it's negative. Then, from this point, papunta dito, 1, 2. So, tayo kumaliwa. So, negative 2. Okay? And negative 4 over negative 2 is the same as positive 2. Ngayon, kung magsisimula naman tayo sa part na ito, tataas tayo ng 4. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. At pag tumaas, tatandaan, that is positive. Over, kumanan tayo ng 2. Diba? Tumaas, then kumanan ng 2 para makapunta dito. So, it's positive 2. And still, your answer will be 2. Okay? Ayan. So, tatandaan nyo na lang para hindi na kayo nalilito, no? Rise over run. So, 4 over 2. Then, kung ang line nyo ay mula mababa pataas, its sign will be positive. Okay? So, we have already identified the slope. Now, the y-intercept will be kung ano yung y-coordinate ng ating y-intercept. So, since our y-intercept is 0, 3, our b will be 3. So, if that's the case, what will be the equation of our line? Now, applying our formula y equals mx plus b, the answer will be y equals our slope, which is 2. Then, don't forget to write x plus b, which is 3. Therefore, our equation will be y equals 2x plus 3. If you are to write the answer in standard form, again, do not forget to arrange it in the form ax plus by equals c. So if this is x, this is y, it will come before y. Kaya we will have negative 2x. Bring down y, which is positive y. And bring down 3 on the right side, which is positive 3. So this will be the standard form. Para sa next example natin, try natin sagutan itong nasa green line na ito. Okay? So, dahil wala naman tayong pwedeng kunin na y-intercept, dahil ito ay nasa pagitan ng 0 and -1 sa y, no, mahihirapan tayong mag-identify ng numbers para dito. Okay? So, I suggest kung gagawin ninyo yung slope-intercept form, make sure na eksakto yung number na nasa y-intercept natin. Okay? Pag hindi, it's better to rely on the coordinates that we have. Okay? So, since we have coordinates here, pwedeng 2-point form or pwedeng point slope form ang gagamitin natin. Okay? So, if you are to use the point slope form, be careful na nga lang sa pagbibilang for your slope. Okay? So, for the slope, para sa point slope form, y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Ang gagawin natin, pwede tayong magbilang ng rise over run. Okay? Or pwede rin naman yung formula na y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. You may do both for you to be able to ensure na tama yung iyong slope. Okay? So, for the slope, again, rise over run tayo. Any point po ay pwedeng pagsimulaan. So, kung magsisimula tayo sa point na ito, para makarating sa point na ito, bababa ka muna ng isa. So, the rise will be -1. Then, pag bumaba ka ng isa, kakanan ka naman ng dalawa. So, we have 2. Positive dahil kumanan. Now, kung hindi ka sure, pwedeng i-apply mo yung formula for slope. Since ang ating formula is y sub 1, substitute natin, we have -1 minus ang y sub 2, which is -2 over x sub 1, which is 1, minus x sub 2, which is 3. Okay? So, again, we have here -1 plus 2. Again, KSO tayo, no? So, keep switch opposite ng -2 ay +2 na. Then, 1 minus 3, again, kung ang ibabawas mo ay mas malaki kaysa babawasan, the answer is negative. Then, subtract the numbers, you will have 2. So, -1 plus 2 is 1. Then, copy the denominator, which is 2. Ganun pa rin naman yung kalalabasan. Okay? So, your slope is still -1/2. Now, substituting it to our problem, you have y minus. Again, y sub 1 can be taken from any of the two, no? So, pumili ka na lang ng mas madali. Kung mas madali sa'yo yung -1, 1, edi yun ang gamitin. Kung ito ang gagamitin, this will be x sub 1, y sub 1. So, y minus y sub 1 is -1 equals the slope which we are able to get is -1/2 times x minus the x sub 1 is 1. Okay? So now, simplifying our given, this will become y plus 1 equals, distributing, we have -1/2 x plus 1/2. Transposing +1 to the other side, it will become -1. And therefore, we will have y equals -1/2 x 1/2 minus 1. Okay? So, itabi natin, we have 1/2 minus 1 will become 2 over 2. And therefore, will result to -1/2. And this will be the equation of the line. Okay? So, sulat natin, y equals -1/2 x minus 1/2. For our last example, isolve natin or let us write the equation of the line with points -2, 3, and 2, 1. Okay? So again, you may use 2-point form. Kung 2-point form yan, you will have y minus y sub 1 equals the formula for the slope, which is y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2 times x minus your x sub 1. Okay? So, you may also use the point slope form because itong formula na ito for the slope can also be yung ating rise over run na tinatawag. Okay? So, kung nag-aalangan kayo sa rise over run ninyo, pwedeng ito yung inyong gawin. Okay? So, for the slope, okay, kung rise over run ang gagawin natin from one point to the other point, you will take 1, 2, 2 steps downward, so it's -2. Then, you will also take 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 steps to the right. So it's +4. Okay? And expressing your answer in lowest terms, we will have -1/2. Okay? So if you're not sure again, use the formula y sub 1. If this is your x sub 1, y sub 1. This is your x sub 2, y sub 2. Your x sub 1 is, your y sub 1 is 3. So write 3 minus y sub 2 is 1 over -2, x sub 1 yun, minus 2. Okay? So, applying KSO again, no? Although 3 minus 1, pwede mo na yung masagot ng diretso. You have 2. The second part will be -2 plus, keep, switch, opposite of +2 is -2. So, -2 plus -2 is 2 over -4, which is also equal to 1 over -2. Okay? So, the slope is -1/2. Now, we can use yung point slope form. Okay? So, for the point slope form, we have y minus y sub 1 on our black line is 3 equals the slope that we have computed earlier is -1/2 times x minus our x sub 1 here is -2. Solving the innermost parenthesis, we have x minus -2, which is equal to x plus 2. Then we will multiply it by -1/2, so the result is -1/2 x plus -1 times 2 is -2 divided by 2 is -1. Okay? Ayan. So, bringing down y minus 3, transpose 3 to the other side, it will become +3. Okay? Then, adding the similar terms, y will be equal to, bring down 1/2 x or -1/2 x. Then, -1 plus +3 is +2. Okay? So, on this part, you will be able to see that -1/2 is your slope, 2 is your y-intercept. Okay? Let us check if it passes through 0, 2. No. So, the black line passes through 0, 2. Okay? So, our answer is correct because it also satisfies the form y equals mx plus b.